Okay, let's have a look. Stream should be starting now. Let's listen to audio events of this. Okay, my mic sounds a bit quiet. Let's turn my mic all the way up to max. How does that sound? Okay, that sounds okay. And I guess the desktop audio is fine. I'm not really sure. To be honest, I can't actually hear it. I think it's on this window. And I might just lower the player sound. Yeah, so I'm trying a new, like, Go Free playlist. I'm not sure it's the style I like. They also remember that a lot of my streams recently I just haven't actually had my copyright free music playing in the background. But okay, am I on? I think I forgot to set myself on Do Not Disturb on things. That was done. I'm gonna just hide my screen just while make sure nothing is there. Okay, awesome. Okay then, so I'm going to be trying to stream a bit more frequently now. I'm going to try again to get a fairly consistent once a week stream, just so that the projects feel a hell of a lot less abandoned than they currently are. As I have just been, like, probably about 6 months now, just sort of like, just relaxing, kind of living life, not really doing a huge amount of working on Gmod projects. And this is mainly just because I've been working on some like JvS I think is on 8 years or something, and it does kind of feel like we have been trapped a little bit in a dev cycle of where there isn't actually that much to like show for the project. So yeah. Anyway, I think I'm going to work a bit on bug fixes and a bit on the spawn system. More trying to get the spawn system fully finished, because we got like most of it finished. Then we just need to integrate like kind of this, unify this from like the last character system, where when we first load a character, we just set its position to a spawn point. We need to implement this part where we store the info. I added this line quickly before the stream. This probably isn't the best way to do it, but it's how I'm doing it. Yeah, like it probably should just be region ID, region data, like how we do here. For if the region system doesn't exist, this is what we'll fall back into. But anyway, okay, so let's start off with, let's go for hopefully a fairly simple bug fix, or flight super is still present. So if I load out a character, I'm not sure if I have any of the add-ons loaded or anything. Let's just move over here. Okay. So yeah, I mean here you can see there's just an error below me. Which does show a bit of the problem. So basically before the first lightsaber recognition, the model, the model being an error, that's fine, that makes sense. But the fact that it's an error suggests that some part of the code isn't working correctly. So right tilt, left tilt. Was I really that late? Whatever. Okay, so this is draw left. With draw shadow called twice for some reason. Oh, true then false. Okay, yeah, makes sense, makes sense. So if could hold hilt, and hold hilt is if it's on our hip, right? And when we notify, we set draw shadow. There we go. This is the line of code that we're looking for. So what we then do is just in here we just go. Is it maybe in shared? I mean, we do actually just have a set of data tables already within F server, so we can just do an else and just do like self draw shadow, just false by default. Matching this default here. And then this should now mean if I unequip, if I re-equip, it's still there. And let's try a refresh map then and see how this goes. I probably also will make it so that in the Discord we will have a little announcement each time I stream, as well, making it easier for me to keep track of when I do stream. Okay, let's load this out. We have a spawn error. Yeah, that's fine. Angle expected got to nil. Okay. And if we go to our lightsaber, it still errors. Draw set. That's whether the should draw. So whether the entity shadow should be drawn. Okay. Why? I mean, we can try a simple zero-tick timer. And then we can try that. See if that helps. There's actually no shadow that time. So we had the opposite problem there. That could have just been me hallucinating. So ignite. It's there. Ignite. Yeah, that was just... Okay, cool. Let's try another refresh map then. Could it be because it's missing? The model is missing. So if I just go with something dumb, like if I come over here, I do also have a shared one. I mean, I could try call draw shadow hair and call false. It could be one of those things where shadow is for some reason like shared. I keep going. I keep just going into my console to try refresh. Another thing that we'll also I need to work on the code at some point is start moving some of the functions actually just outside of Osara space. I moved them into slib. Okay, we had a whole bunch of script errors that time. Which, if you have a look at that, it did work. So if I comment this out, let's give this one a shot. There's unequip, re-equip. This time we have no errors. Okay. So yeah. So it is just done things of server-side value overrides client-side value yet again. And force loop is broken for some reason. Oh, is what? What? What is... What? What? I mean, there should be change like force motion over force jumps to the file, but still, what? Like... Maybe let's have a look at the spawn error. 86. Oh, because also angle has changed. It's no longer ang. It should probably not now be ang, like this. But actually, we don't. We only use position. Meta. SV spawn. I mean, there's probably another SV spawn inside spawn system. No, there's an SH in out. There's a spawn rewrite. Nope. Oh, who knows? We'll find it eventually. Okay, so that time it didn't error, so maybe it's just a coincidence of like loading a character in with a script error. Because it seems to break like that. And in theory, if that's happening in a production environment, then something else has gone really wrong. But there we go, we have our lightsaber. do wonder about maybe cleaning up that effect. I don't know. I quite like how layered it looks, but I don't think there are other better looking effects than that one. Okay. So this one is now fixed. We can say this has been done. Awesome. Meditate with swept doesn't reset local velocity. Okay. So meditating with a swept doesn't reset local velocity. This is for like when you start meditating. Yeah, this complains about this. So let's just simplify it. Interesting, it instantly adds a number. I think this is cool down. I don't like that actually. I could tell this was the case from how the code handled it. Like, I've seen it. Anyway, so what we're going to do is just owner set local velocity, and we're just going to set it equal to vector underscore origin. And vector origin is just 0, 0, 0. So we'll just set our velocity down to 0, so that when we do meditate with our meditation swap, you can see we are stable. I mean, if you want, I can comment out to this line of code, and I can show you what happens. You might be able to hear that. You might be able to hear that walking. And like that walking will just happen because the velocity's there, and so it thinks, oh yeah, you should be walking, even though you can't move. And with that there, the walking isn't there. And so that's just the reason for that. Okay, and then this bug fix is now done as well. Bug fixes are just typically very quick to just get out, and they make you feel very productive. Okay, so vendors can't be removed or deleted. That is true. Move vendors over to the permanent end system. That is a suggestion. Could work. Definitely could work. Or we be lazy for now and just keep vendors on their own system. Let's have a look at how vendors have been implemented. Vendor entities. How do they save? Take vendor action. This code is wrong. I'm not sure why that is the case. I mean, there's not an valid check here, so there's a script error possible. Oh, hi Meshlich. So there's a script error there, then we can just not valid that, then. There seems to be some code inconsistencies as well in the file. So we've got the position model, anchor data, and we'll get that, yeah. Cool, we have a remove item, edit items. Yeah, okay. So there's definitely no delete. Is there a delete in the DAO? No. Okay, how are vendors even stored? Oh, that's wrong. That needs to be updated. That is wrong. There we go. I think that's the correct thing we need there. I'm trying to remember what. There's like very slight reason why you can't just select the last inserted ID. I don't remember what it was, but there was something like that where it caused a whole bunch of bugs in the inventory system, where I think there are a whole bunch of items being created all at once, meaning that the last inserted ID wasn't necessarily for the item that just got made, whereas this one is more stable for some reason. Okay, so then... Oh, we're also still using JSON tables. I guess that's fine for now. Okay, so let's just add a quick vendor DAO. Yeah, there we go. It knew exactly what we wanted, and we can just MySQL save it. We don't need to call back for it, so that'll work. And then we can just implement this into the UI. So, I mean, restrictions are just tacked on at the moment. Update. Remove item. That gives us a remove item. It's not quite what I want. I want a save button. Where is the save button? Oh no, this isn't. Is this the? This is submenu. This is submenu. That's why. So there you go. God, this menu is a mess. It needs to be rewritten. Yeah, do form. We then get our restrictions out. What? Oh no, because restrictions we're just tacking on from the form because restrictions aren't part of the form. Okay, that makes sense. Hacky, but oh, I guess not. I think it would be here, wouldn't it? Let me actually go inside of vendor, as I think I'm now forgetting what the vendor UI looks like as I'm trying to parse this apart. Okay, yeah. Yeah, there's one here. God, this menu is so bad. There's just, yeah. This can be done so much better. That has been done. Does this search box even if it doesn't even affect the thing on the right? Oh god. I don't need to rewrite this menu. I don't need to rewrite this menu, but at the same time it's... Oh. Like Menschlich, look at this beautiful menu. It is so lovely. And I'm assuming if I click Rancor, yeah. It doesn't even do any highlighting on this side for like if it's in this list. This just hurts. Anyway, let's just attack a delete button in there somewhere. We can try that. See how that goes. Yeah, that works. ugly as hell, but it works. One thing I will do is I will just add a prompt in here. Before we do it. Just so that we can actually see. Yeah, are you sure you want to delete this vendor? And script it. Awesome. Just get an onboard this method. And what we probably will do is make it so that deleting vendors is locked behind an extra permission. So that it is harder for someone malicious to actually like delete vendors. And at the same time, we probably should make it so that we can easily restore vendors that have been deleted. So I mean, I'm thinking a nice thing to store it would be in logs. When you have things like here, like you have a type of what sort of like thing it is. You could just go with like it's a vendor deletion, and then you can just like click a rollback function and it will just like re-add the vendor that's deleted. Potentially is an option. At the same time, vendors are huge, with potentially how much information they can have on them. So I guess another way is we could actually, instead of deleting them, we mark them as deleted and don't spawn them in that way. And then and then we can just clear up the vendors. Like, to be honest, there's not going to be that many vendors placed down. So, I mean, you could just go through manually. That could work. I think for now this is fine. We will just lock it behind a permission. That doesn't look right. Permission? Yeah, it's permission. Yeah, vendor.delete. Okay, let's get it out. We have a super admin, and now with vendor.delete, then you don't have permission to delete vendors. Go into permission, super admin, and then we're gonna need to. I really need to add a search here for permissions. Looks like it hasn't actually been counted as registered yet, which is fine. Let's just run a refresh. And then we also need to util this at the top. Vendor.delete, there we go. But yeah, you can sort of see how long it is if I'm like forgetting how my permission function works. And the thing, where's there just that random comment there? This should be a not. Okay, I mean, God, 119 warnings. I really need to fix these warnings. How many files does count as me having open? Not many. Oh, I mean, that one's just format the document. That fixed almost half. Just to complain about self. Yeah, I can see that. And then you have a self shadow. We can test that and see how that goes. Set eye angle. Oh yeah, hang on. Yeah, okay. So set eye angles happened in spawn sh in it. There we go. I misread it. So it's one system that's going to be up here. And this one, so sh in it, line 3914. Point dot angle is what we use. Yes, but it is also ang now. I mean, what we can do is or point dot angle or. Probably should cache that, and then we can do the same up here. Or angle or just adding back in support. Line 15. Okay, did I not finish? Oops, I did not finish that line. Basically just going like, there's a few competing standards still, like, just make one of these work. Though this does allow us to swallow errors now, which is not great. So you might want to have like a minor like debug friend of, yeah, the player isn't spawning in at the correct, like, spawn. Okay. So where were we at? Vendor menu. You're adding delete to it. Yeah, because what we did for a long time is we just like hid vendors, like we just dragged them out of the world. We can delete them. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. They're just $1. This is easy enough. I'll just delete this one. Has permission, nil value, 174. Sure. That doesn't look right. Like the function name still doesn't look right. Has perm. Because it's a double S. Is that? No, I should have done a refresh. Not a rejoin. Okay. So the vendor, can I, yeah, there you go. So if I now press delete, are you sure you want to delete this? Yes! And if I now do a cleanup, the vendor doesn't come back. Perfect. Let's now try spawning the vendor again to make sure saving still works. So you can't buy or sell anything here, yep. So let's add a wrinkle, and let's just put a buy price on 1. Let's add a holocron, put a buy price of 1, and let's also add a Darth Mouse as well. 1. Awesome. Go pet trader, and complete the form, and the pet trader. Awesome. So I don't think the vendor system currently uses region system at all, which is a problem. So they will need to be have that implemented for them, which I think is actually why it does say to just move them over to the entity, like permanent entity system. Because items can just be like stored in there and then we just call it like an update. I'm actually kind of curious how well they would actually work. How easy it would be to move over to the permanent entity. But I think I'm going to have that as a future thing. This has just been like done. Yeah, vendors should just be moved over to the permanent system. Okay, so character creation ones are again, they're just kind of, we're waiting for the character menu rewrite, which is waiting for us to find a UI developer that doesn't flake. Where I think I'm just kind of going to what's the word? Yeah, I'm likely to just go to like Fiverr or something. I think at this point I'm not having luck finding people. I know some people, like, I was a bit bad with communications there, but most of them, like, I think I gave like 8 of them or something last time I did a request, all the same exact commission, and not a single one of them has finished it. So I'll probably go do that. Okay, oh yeah, gotta drain some stuff, that's fine. So testing region system. We don't have the bug that we're testing here, but I'm pretty sure last time I tested there were bugs. Quite strong bugs. Where am I? Is it down here? It doesn't. No, this isn't right. Let's go down here, I think. Yeah, here. It looks about right. Yeah, there we go. What was I testing? Oh yeah, I was going over here to the spaceships. And I'm in this. Dear God, that doesn't feel right. I think I know what's happening there. That just felt awful. Let's go to that one. So we have script errors. And now we have a ship spinning like mad, with a velocity of nothing. Yeah, so we've got a whole bunch of prints which are causing the rest of it to disappear. Temperature index region CL hooks 33. What is in the core stack? 79. So this line here. Okay, I mean that suppresses the error. Because I don't think this is the velocity, like, error we're encountering here. Where everything is just spinning and, like, breaking it apart. Unless I'm not quite sure what's happened there. So let's just go refresh. And so something is causing this to occur. So let's have a look at SpaceSense. We do have a position on our dev cube. That, as you can see, does list us as our angle and our position. There's nothing in here about our velocity, where our velocity is becoming nan. So something there is going really wrong. And this time, the prints are perfectly valid. Like, if I rerun this query, you can see that, like, they are very fucking precise, but they are perfectly valid positions. I have collisions, but not rendering with them. But does that mean the region isn't correct? What is my region? Yeah, I do have a check here for, like, if not region. So let me just print what my active region is. Let's go underscore analysis lower 1. Come over here. Lower underscore run underscore CL. I think just print table. Print table. Region, get active region. Don't get anything. What happens if we print it? There we go. So it's not nil. We do very much have a value. With our idea space whole set system. So the other entity is true, and then should render. That is not right. This is old code, I'm pretty sure. A whole bunch of prints there. Is this render? Yeah. Which get ID doesn't equal get ID. So this is of the ships. IDs being different. So there shouldn't be any difference between this. And not only for this, we are going to need to do a refresh of the map. I also probably shouldn't be debugging this too much on stream, because I don't want the code space system to be out there too much. So this will probably be fixed some other time. Without it being on stream, because space system should not be code that is shared publicly. Even if the code is very buggy at the moment. But yeah, you can clearly see bugs there. The ground is fine. Yeah. But this isn't. This one isn't. But this floor is fine. Nor are these fences. The fences aren't spawning in. And the only one that's even getting to this should render is one thing. Yeah. Yeah, only one thing is even attempting to be rendered. And that's this floor here. So server side is correct, but not client side. Which makes me think the region network is not coming through. I don't actually know where this is stored. Oh, we have the net here. Oh, I wonder if that's the problem. I'm just noticing a very big bug. Um, in this code. I think I'm gonna need to rewrite part of the space system again for this bug. Because what's happening is there's 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I have an idea. I know exactly what's happening here. Um. This is going to be quite painful if there is a script error. It's going to print a whole bunch of times. But this way we do now. Oh, and then we can also just like, and then we just nullify it. The reference that is. It might actually more sense to go local. And then we nullify it. And then we just use the cache table here. Instead. Just so that we don't... Because if we get a script error in one of these, it will then mean that we don't get, like... We never clear out the cache. This doesn't... Technically, now I think of it, this doesn't actually stop the bug at all. It just means we don't get... Because what's happening is the ship hour is being called multiple times. And this requires me to actually go into the code, so I can't fix this bug. And there seems to be some sort of bug with the reading system. I'm assuming... Couldn't tell you why, but that seems to be the problem there. So... vendor items need higher buy than sell, can't set to sell only. Now that is a bug, because you are meant to be able to have sell only vendors where your buy price is set to -1. But it's basically to prevent people from doing, like, infinite money, like, exploits and stuff. I forgot to put myself on Do Not Disturb again. Okay. Alright then. So, okay, so we've done that part. I'm saying so a lot. Okay. Right then. So we have. So let's work on the center one. Nice simple bug. Probably, hopefully, not too much work. Let's hope at least. Okay, let's close this out. Close this out. Let's just close all of these tabs open. I don't need as many of these tabs open as I do. Yeah, no, it's safe for now. At some point I will actually go through all the linter errors and wipe them out. Like, after all, every time I do a commit, the auto linter on the program on GitHub repo always complains. Though probably will be updating the cache on it, so it's slightly less aggressive and closer to like the one I have on here. Because I'm a bit kinder on pyramids than the default setting. Anyway, we are going to vendor needs a higher buy price than sell price, so that's probably a problem here. If not, buy price is greater, or so. Okay, so if it's then this is true, or buy price is greater. So true. That is correct. I think that looks right. Sorry, a friend is messaging me. Yeah, so buy is greater than or less than sell, so we should be able to get here. So I don't think we error here though. Now that I think about it, because there's no. I just noticed there's no like error invalidation here. So if we go into our vendor and join, and then let's have a look. But yeah, I mean, I've technically been thinking for a while now that space system kinda needs, like, the region part of space system needs an update, because players are not stored on their ship in the space system, they are stored by region, and that just means there's a whole bunch of extra code in there to handle that, and to be honest, we don't render players on other ships. I have been tempted to. It is something that we could do. It adds a whole bunch of complexity to it. But you can rotate a player the same way you can rotate other things. So it is doable. I need to go to my vendor. It's just one of... not quite sure. It is something new. The delete did not work. Yeah, the delete... definitely did not work. Why did I... It definitely felt like it did earlier. So why does it not feel like it works? I mean, I don't have permission. That's a big... Right double number expected got nil. SH ticker. What? What? Why is the space system sending me position sinks? What? Either way, tend to pop up from SV menu line 177. 177. You don't have permission. Oh, because there's no warning. There's only error. I don't have permission? But I just updated my permission cache for user group. My super admin should now have. There's still no search button. I want to add a search button. I'll do that in a bit. Also not alphabetically sorted either, which is a pain. Vendor, 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 vendor. Okay, goodness, let's just do a refresh. And if not, then we will make a quick modification to the permissions menu to make it so we can quickly have a search button that will search. So yeah, we do definitely have two. Let's just close the menu for now. And open my menu. Into permissions, super admin. I've not seen vendor delete in here now. Yeah, no, there you go, vendor delete. It's so hard to say, like, this needs a huge change. I feel like it should be closer to like how config is done. This should not be now. True, false. True, false. Where's that permissions? It should just be under its own thing. If some of this is like global, it's not. It should be under the chat box. And then you have voice range here, but voice range here as well. Well, one of them is not going to be being used. So there's a Trello. There are two voice range config values. So one of them is wrong. And combat cooldown. It would be nice to have like maybe a bracket somewhere. Anyway, this is nice to have. Anyway, yeah, that's what I think permissions should be, because this is just horrendous. This is just a start comparison to this. Yeah, that's pretty bad. 23, chain 1. So that one fails for some reason. Chain 10, chain 9. It's probably because they don't have any character caches associated with them. So that's why it's failing. But to have no character cache associated with your character is impossible. You get a character cache the moment you load out your character. So I suppose if you just created a character, that is doable. But I think character creation will force a load now. Anyway, at least on this server. Probably should make it so that it can handle invalid caches, and like it just like fall back to its character ID. Okay, anyway, so vendors still need a higher buy price. I didn't actually test to see whether that was the case. I just got stumped on the fact that delete was not functioning. The vendor, yes. You don't have permission. I have permission. Vendor.delete. Vendor.delete. It is given to super admins by default. It is already in my thing. Why is this failing? Oh, if not has permission. Oh my fucking god. Which that means the ID delete did not work. And vendor ID is being treated as a number, which ID should be a number. I don't know what ID is. How is vendor ID even stored? And then we just call update vendor. Where we get our ID from it. Ow. Yeah, so we delete, if we don't have permission, we then do that, then we call the delete, and then we remove the entity. And if we do delete, we delete from vendors where ID equals this. And we query. There's nothing wrong with that, other than the fact this should be a SMD instead. But that shouldn't be from a number to a string. The format system just does automatically. There's nothing in there that should cause any concerns. And it's not like there's any other references anywhere else in the code. And now that the menu is glitched. Also, let's do a refresh, and then we'll start up again. Okay, 3D 2D text screens still exist on the server. We probably should modify that a bit to use something similar but slightly different. Yeah, so there are still two vendors here. But they seem tied actually. I don't actually have config logging on, so I don't actually see what's been set here. Anyway, okay, so we don't see any of the MySQL query come through. But if I just do a refresh map, let's see how this goes. Another idea that I have, something that I might want to work on today, depending on how long it takes me to write this one system, will be the daily login system. I have an idea of roughly what I want. So we will just define types of rewards, probably give an icon, what they are, or a way to give us a material. So render function. So like how we can sort of like just slap a D model panel in, for example, and just give us like a model for something. So like if we're saying, oh yeah, you'll get crystal like fragments, we can have like a fragment icon that exists there. would be nice. I mean, I've been thinking of improving this a huge amount so that the background might be like slightly like instead of the just the background being like black as it is now, you sort of take a very light. Actually, yeah, hang on. Let's try it. I'm getting distracted here, but this is fine. We just need to check that the vendor did successfully delete. Yes, it did. Okay. So yeah, what I'm thinking. Ooh, this is quite nice. Don't know what this type of music is. It feels very like thematic, dramatic. So we do get our rarity color here. Yeah, color mix is there. Is that how it functions? No, it's mix amount. That's what I thought. Let's go 0.9 rarity color and black, and then let's just slap that directly into there. Let's see how that looks. That's a whole bunch of script errors. Attempt to get the item a nil. Sure? I mean, that's not great. I've done grad like up, down so many times. Yeah, I like to do it more this way. It also works. This also actually works a hell of a lot nicer now with these ones. Where like you had black before. My main concern is like blue on this might not show up too well. But that does actually look a hell of a lot nicer. I think. I'm not a huge fan of the grey per se. It's not like grey is not that appealing. Of a colour. It's also one of this still feels very cramped because like this just fits very tightly in the item border. So I don't remember how inventory slots would a calculator is. It's one where containers, if I remember, like this stuff is very messy. This doesn't look to be centering at all. So what I can do... How are inventory items actually put inside? That is something I don't actually remember how they're done. That is, yeah, I legitimately don't actually know how they're rendered. So do we set parent? And then we set item. We set item, we set pause, we set size. What instead if we do a doc fill? Instead. Does that completely break things? It doesn't. And so now what we can do is in our inventory slots, we can set some... We can set some doc padding of like 3 or something. Trying to do that. Yeah, there you go. I'm still not a huge fan of the really solid grey. I mean, do we actually need the white outline? No. Because the white outline, I feel like, is more taking away from what we want. Because it makes it feel very, like, blocky. You don't really want... Now it kind of feels like it just gets lost in the void a bit. So what if we just don't make it as harsh? So if we mix it with like color alpha, and sort of go like 100 on that border. Let's just make sure it is coming through. Yeah. Yeah, that honestly doesn't, that actually looks quite nice. Like there's a subtle outline around them. Oh, that godly hell. Oh, I like the look of that. That looks really nice. I mean, what would be really nice with this one is if you could render the two hilts on top of it, but that'd be quite hard to achieve. But oh my goodness, no, you could, because you get the list of the items here. You can get the models. You so could. You so could, yeah. You could so get the two hilts, and then otherwise you can just show like a hand. Oh. Yeah, then this 7 just needs to be increased in size. I mean, Demo Default is was never the intended font, but I don't have fonts yet. But that does look so much nicer. That might be a bit too strong on 50. Let's try like 7.5. No, that's too muted. Again, it feels like anything other than like. I mean, I'm pretty sure I would prefer the 4. Like this, yeah. That one like is really hard to see, probably just because of how dark the blue already is. For that rarity color. I mean, actually, I prefer the godly over the legendary. I'm trying to remember how this. Where's the item? Oh, this gets rendered. This gets rendered that way. Yeah, I mean, it could be. So this would be nice to have this background. Actually, just like render one of these, and it could be done. There's no reason it's. There's no reason it's not actually. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason why we don't just use one of these here. Because I don't think the hover is calculated from inside this menu. So yeah, I'll keep this like this for now. That looks that looks so much nicer. Though I do think we want to get a bit closer on this paint view. So if I try 50 instead, we get a bit too close there, I think. Yeah, you can see that one there. The fractured one, we end up way too close to that. Like this is just like generally works quite well. we can probably listen in for like if a key is down, like Alt or like Control, and then in the tooltip we can at the bottom. This would require our data to be updated. There's no reason it should be doing that, but either way it does. Okay, so this just adds model in, and then if we just press Alt, maybe we can just add in that data at the end. Okay, and then so this would be more of a... This is going to be temporary for now. There we go. So we'll just list this there. Yeah, so it's there. But it should only be there when you're pressing W, maybe. So then we look at the slot render and then we figure out when that happens. Because I don't actually quite remember why that stuff happens. Anyway, so go back to our item down here. Is it render? Yeah. Yeah, so you have like an on-key code for S. Um, this doesn't get refreshed often, because it's global, isn't it? Yeah. So, let's just go through and score Lasius Laura again. Go back here. And then it's just underscore CL. I would just need to like add just a command that's going to do this well and everything's CS low. Like we got one for server side. And then we just do inventory, panel, remove. And now if we do this, we get script errors. Instead, number expected got null. 49. 49. Wiki. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at this wiki. This sent me to the wrong browser entirely. For what I wanted. On this one. What can we do? Okay. So there we go. So now. So it's still there in the. Is it there because it's in the cache? Hello. Welcome. Request the toolkit, and if it is in the item cache, and the time is less than current time, then exists. And the item cache cooldown is 10 seconds. Yeah, this builds our item cache for us. Would we defer an on success with our item data that we return back and that we store? We could go with is old previewed and go true, and then store this differently. So actually, when we send a request, we will get all data, even if it's alt previewed, and then if it's alt previewed or not, we actually handle that in our render code. We send that through to the render code as well, because we have like our alt walk here when we build a request, and then we also can pass in our vGUI, we can take our alt walk and then is extra preview, and then if v dot is alt preview and not is extra preview, then we return, and then that should now mean that it just doesn't happen at all now. That could just be because I need to close that menu, remove that one, let's try that again. So yeah, that one's still wrong because the data so when we press it, it works, and then we will also do inventory back on key code released if it's walk, then we'll just clear it up as well. Yeah. There we go, awesome. There's a bit of flicker as it removes the panel, but it's fine. It's not a huge concern, and I mean, hey, this is still the dev menu version, or like the non-skinned version. A couple of visual bugs here and there should be fine. This is complaining because of that. Okay, awesome. Yeah, but yeah, hello, Rectorna. How are you today? Okay. God, I really do not a huge fan of the random copyright-free music I put on in the background. Okay. We have one too many ends now. Okay. Okay, cool. That's working. And then in this code here, this now gets modified out. This shouldn't just sit here now, this should sit somewhere else. this can technically set hair. I could just add the icon. But this is going to error badly on that one. So we need to let's look into the code on how that one's rendered. It's been so long since I've looked at that part of the code that I am not quite sure how it's render mode. Do just check the render mode and see if it equals model. So if item render mode, and then we have, yeah, there we have, it's all previewed, so that's now added in, and that's handled now server side. Which does now mean that all of the ones that have a cache need to be changed. So let's just done a refresh map. Okay, awesome. It's nil render mode. Is it a like and or? No, it's definitely set. So where is render mode coming from? Oh, we set it client side. If item.icon. Icon. Then we give an icon will render instead. So icon will take priority. Also if item.model. There you go, so now we add it in, if that. So we're still getting nil prints. Oh, because we're doing if model equals, that would never work. And then we're going to go to the script error instead. So let's now do that. And so now, yeah, there you go. So you can now press Alt for more information, or for a better look. You also notice that it's not quite right yet, because the model here is like, this one here is white, and it's rotating, so like there's some problems there. Which does it sort of, you know how these actually get rendered, is that these are all one, like these are all the same model. And then we just update the colors on them. And I will need to fix the material render problem. I guess I could make it item. I mean, what you could do is you could take all of the render code out of the item, have a few optional like parameters on it, to hide like item counts and stuff, or just to get like an item preview like class, which will show just like information about the item. Like we don't technically need to, like currently we store the model, but we could just say item and then the item name in the tooltip that we can then render. But yeah, there you go. So I got very distracted there on a small tangent that is like never going to really matter, but I don't think we never fixed the vendor sell price, so let's go back to that. As we got distracted. Okay, so we have a rancor, so let's set its buy price to -1, and then set its sell price to 10. Date item, buy amount must be greater or equal to sell price. Are vendors still not? Vendors are still not listed in this space. Wow. Yeah, there's no validation. The validation is done entirely client-side. That part. Well, it's there, but there's no, like, printing to the user, is what I meant. So that means that our... it's greater or equal to 0. The English there doesn't really flow, but we'll go with that. So let's go back to our rancor. Our buy price will set to -1, and we'll update the item. Click on our rancor again. Set it to 10 or 100, whatever. Update price. And our rancor we can now only sell. Awesome. So this bug is now done. So we have added more bugs and issues here, like it's just a never-ending list. As we just go through things and find small nitpicky things here and there to fix up. But hey, that's just kind of how things go. Okay, I mean, let's work on the 2 voice ranges, because that should be quite simple. Because we just find... So we use voice range in our voice types. In LOSA and in /me, this is the config value we use for voice range. Not voice.range. Voice really should be under its own thing. So yeah, so we use voice.range here. And we use voice.range down here. So let's update this one. And let's find the register for voice range. There we go. And so now we no longer have 2 duplicate voice ranges. Like maybe if you want to have maybe a chat range difference, then there would be reason to have two separate ones, but at the same time, these were both just independent values that were different values that would cause, in theory, could actually cause bugs. It was never noticed. That's probably just because they were the same value. But okay. So where is this? It's this one system on this one. There you go. And we have we have no listed errors in Osiris space, which is good. Oh yeah, I am wanting to get away from NWVAR as much as possible, as someone recently brought it to my attention. I need to find a request from a private repository to do it. Actually, no, I think I can find it on the wiki. It's something to do with like networking optimization. Was this one? It was near the bottom. Yeah, this one. Okay. Yeah, so basically this just causes us to request our own updates in the networking instead of like all the time, and it basically just helps fix a whole bunch of lag with things. I'm not quite sure what things that they are and what they're doing, but yeah, you notice there's no way to add a single entity to the PVS. This we can fix, I think. Potentially, I'm not sure. I do think it would be nice to implement a sort of like thing. But anyway, we're gonna have to forget. I'll get distracted. So yeah, we will just like something like this. I think is if we just don't have NW files at all, we might not need as much of this updating to be handled. And because we're not flooding networking, it will just mean that the server just runs better. So you can see the net graph here. Like we are having constant entity networking, I think. Of something, I'm just not quite sure what is constantly networking. But I mean, it could just be like their existence. Could just be very networked. And so if case, then that's just a like make them not render. Like that's just a map thing. Well, you just want as few huge open spaces as possible. Like, you know, monstrosities like this outside. Anyway. That's us getting... So, spawn system needs a rework. Have primary spawn points? Sure, programmatically add spawns, temporary spawns. Yep, this sort of stuff is in there. Yeah, programmatically adding spawns is also useful. Okay. And yeah, so what my idea would be for the planet ones is a bit hacky. Is we'll just set a restriction. My brain probably I think my brain jumped there. Sorry about that. I started thinking about something in my head. And then just blurted the words out. Okay. So let's go back to the spawn system. And let's just look over what has been done and what needs to be done. So we can recalculate valid spawns. So we can get valid spawns from a player. So can I just do a who wants to run print table entity 1 get valid spawns. We have one valid spawn for us because we are not an acolyte, and that gives us our data. Okay. That is nice. So we can go with that. So this does work. It gives us a region, it gives us our angle and a position. So then we just need to now let's do the rest. So then, what we do from here then is we now need to we might need to do some extra validation on some spawns now I think about it. For like space systems. We probably do need a like other sort of thing. Anyway, so yeah, we get valid spawns. And then so this is going to be, I'm going to make this a game mode function. Character get spawn with players and characters, or character and then player. There's once more done on the player, not the character. I mean, they're kind of done on both, so yeah. And if we don't have anything, we'll just basically let Sandbox handle the spawning for us. Though we will prioritize. We do want to prioritize a spawn that is in the same region that they are in. To be honest, we don't really like want to have an ID that we like. I don't know. It's one where I think if I've died, actually this is only used for like if you haven't set a spawn. So yeah, a random one should just be fine. Because typically when we spawn in, we will just do one, and the random spawn button when we spawn in will just take a spawn from a planet. Is the idea. Okay, so now yeah, we do character get spawn. And then what my idea is for the last character system. Am I down here? I don't know. My idea for the last character system modification is that then we just actually just do a hope.add, like, apparently on a Japanese keyboard, wonderful. We just, like, return that position info. There's going to be a problem there. Instead of this one. Doesn't change much, and to be honest I can probably just comment it up now. I'm pretty sure it's handled by spawn. That's a lot of code. Young character spawn. We do that, or we do that. So instead we now copy this over and move it over into spawn rewrite. Let me just put that at the top, just so I can remember it. Cool. There we go, okay. Um, it's labeled badly, but spawn info should be region info. call it region info instead. And then an spawn menu rewrite. Actually, no, it might just be spawn data. I think it is just spawn data. There we go, that should now work. Okay then, so... Okay, this should now handle the spawn point. So if I spawn in, I should now get handled with the new spawn point system. Let me also just double check that is the case by just putting some prints there. If I kill myself... this print seems to still override. Guild spawn system. Okay. Try to kill myself. And do I now always respawn at that point? Okay, the the respawn menu is getting a bit broken there because like it's thinking things are meant to have cleared when they haven't. So, but there we go. We have one spawn point set in, and it's allowing me to spawn there. So, awesome. So, yeah, so I can now spawn in this region. This is the only region really that I trust to spawn in at the moment. But there you go. We can successfully spawn in at that spawn point. So we can't pick. So we can spawn in a world region. We could test killing ourselves from another one and see if that changes our region. I mean, yeah, why not? Let's try. Like, space system is fucked as hell. Combat. Like, it just is. Yeah. Basically, multiple versions of this ship now exist. And it's just, like, wrong. Anyway, if I now just kill myself... We do get a script error when we leave, from the looks of it. So we'll need to fix that script error. And this thing comes up. But like you can see we instantly are now like I mean we can go outside. And we are now not in the region system because the spawn point that we've respawned at is the temple. Instead. which isn't going to be great, I would argue, but this is fine. And yeah, we will need to be able to input temporary spawn points, such as like people's own ships, because I think a spawn point on their ship could make sense, though I also don't know, because if they're dying... then that's fine. Can we delete spawns? Yes. He thinks. Hang on, let me not tick that off. Let me just double check that deleting is actually in the code. Well, not in the code, but is actually functional. Because even if there's a delete, that doesn't mean I use the delete at all. There you go. Deleting is not even in the code. So I don't actually remember how the spawns. Is it still the dumb like edit spawns? Oh, it is. Okay. And if we fly in here, there's no spawns there. So it uses the... yeah, it loads in the new spawn points. Do I press E on them? I press E on them, and there's a save. I guess I can just add a delete button. There's no real reason I can't. Why is it save points? It should be save point. Delete point. Do you ever actually use the ID? Where does ID come from? Yeah, we just like send the info, so that just means that it's stored server side. I should do. Okay, someone's started watching again. Hello! New person. Okay, and then how is this done? This is docked to the bottom. Which means that the idea I had for the delete doesn't work. Because just wanting to go with like a rubbish bin or something to the right as an icon. I guess for now I'll just put a button directly beneath that. There you go. Okay, and then we delete our point. We should also, like, given where it is, we should also just do a demo query. I don't know if I need it to be empty, but I feel like I should. There you go. So then we delete the point, we remove the menu. Awesome, and then in here... we want to delete point, I think it was it delete point? I don't remember what I called up. Delete point. There should also be save point as well. Not save points. Because we're not saving multiple points at the same time, we're only saving one. Yeah, and then we just delete it, and if one ID equals -1, that means it's not a valid spawn. Or it's not saved in the database yet. So there we go, we can delete it, we wipe it out. Perfect. We probably should again have a permission check for this. And we can see how that goes, but that's fine. typoed up. Yeah, I should remove the con command and just add a like slash command. But I'm pretty sure that's the only thing left in here. But also we want to make it so that only one player at a time can edit spawns, I think. So yeah. Is H core 128 table index is nil? Okay. Let's have a look. Region rewrite, where is region? Region rewrite is done for some reason. SH core 128. One, two, 8. Region ID is null. Table index is null. 128. 128 table index is null. There's what? SH core. I haven't touched this file. I've just reverted back. 128 table index is null. Which error is that? Is that the region ID being null? Because it's not attempt to index a nil value, because that would be like regions, it's nil, and then we just attempt to index. So I think it's saying region ID is nil. This has come in, and then we try to assign it to nil, and now it's unhappy. So that means region load has come wrong, and region load is probably going to be called from. I mean, we know what caused it. You know, region load. Yeah, it's come from here. No, it hasn't. Nope. Got my nose. Yeah, var.squad0, that is correct. Like, that's the code we've used every time we have ever used this. So why is it now failing? Do we have any? Yeah, we have any player here. Where we change stuff. And if we don't, then that's fine, because we don't have any old primary systems, because we don't need any. So why is this erroring? So erroring because of the spawn point, I assume. Spawn point, I thought I read that correctly. Let's have a look at spawn point. No, it's in rewrite. SV matter. No, see chat hacks. We print out the point, but we don't print out the table. Point. Hell. Region ID is world_0. That should be correct. Does this mean we get like an empty table or something returned? Region angle pos. We get very... Because this is the spawn data, not anything else. Because we don't actually... Now that I think about it, yeah. The region ID doesn't matter, because we should just have the spawn data here. So this is an actual bug, I would argue, in our base code, where we're returning more data than we actually need. We can just do point.region. Doesn't equal, and then we can just literally just pass in our region. Like, that is all we need. On this part, and then we can just handle it as point.pos, spawn data.pos. Hello, person that is just joined. And then when we have our character get spawn here, we then do a table dot spawn data, or whatever it was. And that should now work correctly. So if I now kill myself, I respawn here correctly. And now if I go here, and if we run a refresh now, how does this go? Apparently my streaming bitrate is lower than I should be streaming out or something. Yeah, I saved her. Awesome. And if I was on a ship as well, it would probably save that correctly. At least partially. Whether do it fully, who knows. But there you go. So now the spawn system works with regions. And so we can move in and out of regions, and we can delete spawn points. So we can delete them. We don't have primary spawn points. I'm trying to think of an easy way to implement like a prime. I guess players could mark a preferred spawn point as one they want. As a nice way to like sort of say, I want to be preferred. And technically what you could do is if they have preferred, you can make it, we can also just gouge them for money as well. We can say that if you have a preferred spawn point, then like, we'll take this like, I don't know, 100, 200 or something. Like probably a fairly insignificant amount, but still enough where players might choose not to have it or something. Or we can just have spawn points that actually require money, and then we just sneakily, you know, just drain their account whenever it's returned. Anyway, so we have spawns from world regions, spawns for ships that can be implemented. It just needs to be added, and then we need to lock down to if you are counted as like the ship owner. So that will change how the spawn point is done. And then we just like register the spawn point through code. So honestly, for everything else can be added later on, I would argue. As this is now, this is fine, and this can go back on the what's the word? Yeah, so this will just be a nice, like, thing that we can do there. Spawn system just needs, like, because everything else in the words are just failing, sorry. My brain is not thinking. Yeah, so, like, everything in there is something where we don't need any of that really right now. That can all be added later on. And like, we can't test spawns on ships because the spawn system, or the ship system, is broken at the moment. So I think that's good enough for now. And what I will do is I will just convert that to a card, convert that to a card. And then they're there now. Yes, there we go. Awesome. I mean, last character still has some quirks about it that need to be handled, which is basically needs to be integrated with the character menu. But character menu needs a rewrite anyway. I do wonder, how is the first menu actually opened? Not from this code. That is slightly concerning. Is it done through... Oh no, there you go, init post entity, we just open it client side. Which I suppose is technically fine. And yeah, we just need to be able to, like, close the menu. Oh, I think we just close it on load, actually. Set P data. No. We're just gonna be lazy here. What is character stimuli stored as? Big N, actually. Certainly there can be a like that. MySQL. What? What? That is quite something. Okay. There we go. Technically we could do MySQL save, but yeah, I think that should actually be fine. And then on stop. Stop. I don't know what it's called back. It thinks we're trying to do. Okay. So I need to find the actual like load character whatever function that we have. Or however loading works. I have a feeling that a lot of loading works in just getting the ID. Yeah. Okay, well that one definitely does not work, because I got a script error when I did that one. Okay, it's on disconnect, right? So no script for that time. So the menu should in theory appear. And then probably will disconnect. We might not, I might change it from player initial spawn. Because there's a chance it's going to be too quick. So nothing's inserted into there. That's gonna be all the way down here. Literally down here, MySQL. I could enable verbose logging. But because we don't override the error, there's nothing there. Like, yeah. There's nothing there, so we're not getting an error when this occurs. I'm not just gonna check. Char is never as valid, that's why. Because I've never inserted the as valid, and because there's no invalid on it, table returns false. Yeah, okay. Ugh. Yeah, no script errors there. There it is. There we go. So yeah, I'm here, and it's just attempted to load my shpvar unpooled variable. Yeah, that attempted to load way too quickly. Like, I still think I am the character I think I am, which is fine. Essentially, my shpvar is failing. Line 38. pvars.sync. Because it's not its character.pvars.sync. Wow, I tried to sync to myself. So yeah, either way, I think I'm going to try slow that down and use a hook that runs slightly later than player initial spawn. Let's use player loaded. I think is player loaded or player loaded? Player loaded looks right. So let's go player loaded. Okay then, let's do a refresh as well. We also need to delete. I suppose we also need to delete the last character as well. Because if we unload from the character and then leave from the server, we don't really want to do this. Oh, okay, so the reason these valid was there is in case you don't have a character, which is not how it's done. If not, player as char. Okay. Okay, yeah, so this reloaded me there. But again, we're not clearing our data. So there's your MySQL save. Where's the MID equals percent? Yeah, no, that doesn't work. Statement is equal to stop trying to do. Where have I? sometimes Copilot is, you just think it's just dumb as bricks. Like, there is just nothing going on inside that brain. Okay. Let's go with that. Okay. So now when we load in, it works. If I call player load again, I got protection against that now, don't I? Yeah. I can't just call it again. Let's run this. We can see, and then we can see if it gets deleted. Now we'll see. Yep, there you go. It happens. The menu appears there for a bit. Just fine. It's going to, like, you see it fade out. And then let's see in the database. It's gone. Awesome. So we keep the data to a minimum. And everything works fine. Okay then. So that's actually fixing the last character bug that's existed for a long time. Well, not bug. I just have never bothered to implement this feature. There we go. Let's actually fix this. Let's just simplify down everything. Okay. I mean, I could invert this to get rid of that pyramid. I could. I should. I'll do that later. I could also do it if not, then. This looks... Oh, no, this still uses last position. There you go, yeah. So that looks fine. And so... This doesn't take into account the map, does it? No. It doesn't take into account the map. Ugh. I need to make it account for the map. Do I store one value and keep the map inside of it? Do I store multiple values? And just keep a reference to the map there, so that we don't have to load into a point not done on this map. I'm not sure. I think for now I'll just be lazy and just do info.map. Game.map. We do not return, we just do that. Not yet actually, we go there and we return now, but we still blanket it. Okay, that just fixes that as a bug, but it could be added to neither words. Nice to make that as a feature in later. How long have I actually been streaming for? I have been streaming for almost 3 hours. Wow. I did not think I'd been streaming for that long. That's awesome. Swan System is in, which is great. I fixed a whole bunch of random things and I've gone on random tangents. But things have been done. Oh, I need to sneeze. I need to sneeze, and then it feels as if it takes a while to come. Ugh. Okay. Alright then. So we've done that. So then we now need to decide on something else to do. I mean, daily login I quite like the idea of, because that's just basically you log in on the day and you just store that they have and the last time they logged in, and a counter of the time, and then you check the date in comparison to it. You don't need to store each day that they log in. And then we have two options there of, do we reset the counter if they don't log in consecutively, or do we just keep it there? I think personally, in comparison to like streaks, I think it would make most sense to keep it just so it's less soul crushing. Because if you have a streak of like 300 and then you just simply can't log in for family reasons and it goes down to 0, like, that's just going to make you not want to be on the server. So I would think that, and maybe most consecutive increase or something. I guess. Yes. Actually, I have a feeling, given how I'm feeling, I'm probably not going to write any more code for today. But we have done a nice amount. So yeah, I will commit that to the repo now. And I guess I will end stream here. Okay. I guess see you guys hopefully next week. Probably same day.